Hey, what's up, gang? It is Adam, and it is not the podcast. For those of you that might be tuning in to see the podcast, our normal slot for 9 o'clock on Mondays, but it is Labor Day, and we are doing the podcast tomorrow live. So if you're tuning in right now to see the podcast, check out tomorrow. But you can stay on if you want to watch the rest of Blanka being built here. I don't know if I'm going to finish it. As you can see at the bottom here, I have 163 cards. I threw in basic lands just to get it so my numbers are in there so we can kind of get a better idea. Sorry, Renshai, but you knew ahead of time. Don't even start. So I'm going to try to cut 63 cards today. I don't know if I'm going to finish, but we will see. Basically going through Blanka. The last time I did Blanka was just the brainstorming, so I was coming up with the ideas. Since then, there are a bunch of cards that I did add. I didn't cut any at that point because I wanted to do that now. And so I'll kind of go through a lot of this. And I started, as you can see on well, my mouse isn't going to show it, but on the left-hand side here, you have the blueprint to building a deck that Laura and I came up with. So I'm going to be kind of going off of that. You guys can see that. I have kind of started some categories, and we'll kind of fit some things in there. Might add some new stuff in there as well. So we have the Day of Dragons, which is the game winners. Typically, what do we run with Day of Dragons? 3 to 5 game winners in a deck. Draw. We are probably going to be doing an update on this list, this blueprint, because I think we add a little bit more draw into our decks than what we have here. Draw, normally, what do I have on there? 7 to 15. We're probably higher because we don't play the tutor stuff. So that number is probably a little bit skewed, and we'll have an updated list coming up in the next month or so after we get over spoilers. Then I have the main idea targeting Blanka in this deck. The interesting thing I did mention on the podcast, it's kind of interesting because I did look at number 2, built a great deck, a Blanka deck. Does some work, man. That's a really good deck. And I looked at his cards to see how similar ours were going to be. And I mentioned this on the cast, like I said, this is actually quite different. So there's some similar, the idea is the same because you want Blanka, you want to be casting spells and doing 2 damage to everybody. But there's some differences in that he wasn't using as many auras and all that stuff. And I already have a lot of these from Kaima, putting auras. So as you can see, Whip Silk, the idea of tapping 1, targeting Blanka, does 2 damage to everybody, tapping 1, return it to my hand, tapping 1, targeting Blanka. Now I'm doing total of 4 damage. So never use good cards. Yes, he used very good cards. So there's some similar cards into this, but I kind of am going to lean on auras a little bit, but not heavily. As you remember, if you can go back to part 1 of this, I did a shit ton of auras. Let's see if I got it here. So you can see I have 30 auras. This is going to get whittled down to maybe 10. And I am going to be doing some similar themes. So as you can see, I have similar Blanka effect. I never know if it's effect or effect. So if I have it wrong, whatever. I don't care. But I actually had it as effect, and I think it might be effect now that I'm looking at it, and similar effect. Whatever. English is fucking crazy. So similar Blanka effects. So as you can see here, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX dragon where it's the total mana cost it has flying and haste in the exile. So that counts for your auras and your instants and your sorceries and all that stuff. Yeah, Concordant Crossroads. Thank you for bringing that up. Still stings to this day. So we have that there. We'll add some stuff in there. We have removal. Some of these you'll see will be in multiple tags. So like Snake Umbra, for example, is in 3 spots. It's not only a draw effect, but it's also the main targeting idea of Blanka, and it's also a protection because a totem armor protects your creature. Because then if your creature dies, you get rid of its O effect. Thank you. It's the O effect. So, but this also adds in protection a little bit here. So we're going to go through this pretty quick. I'm not going to touch the ramp yet. We'll come back to this. But as I started, we'll move some things in the right spots, and then we'll figure out if I want to do things. So my thing that I'm thinking about here is my ramp might need to be all non-creature stuff, but I might have too much of a Voltron that maybe I keep it the way it is. Because if I'm using things that are like, for example, read what it says. Whenever, it becomes a target of a spell. So it has to be targeting. But if I'm using stuff like this, if I have a lot of that in here, then it might make more sense to get rid of the Birds of Paradise, the Fairhaven Elf. Oracle's always good. Wood Elves and all that stuff, because then, yeah, Birds of Paradise is ramp. It's giving you, it's a mono rock in a way. It's 1-drop mono rock. So I consider that as my my ramp mono rock. So my ramp is, I add into the same thing. I should change that name. We're going to keep it there because, but when we do ramp, it's normally, do I even have it on the side there? Yep. So if you look at the side thing that's right in this area, I have ramp and mono rock. So that's kind of this whole thing right here. It's a mono dork, but it's a mono rock in a way. It's not an artifact, but it does the similar thing as these. If you have green, if you're playing green, Birds of Paradise should be in there for one of your rocks or dorks. They're all the same thing. But anyways, back to what I was saying is, if I have a lot of these effects, then I may want to lean more on Nature's Lore type stuff, or Rampant Growth, or Sky Shroud Claim, because the thing is these will be getting this similar. So I cast this. Not only am I going to get 2 forest cards and put them on the battlefield, but I'm also getting a 4/4 dragon that comes into play and has haste and flying that I can attack somebody with. So doing more damage. So, okay. So we'll get back to that. Let's kind of start working our way through the stuff. So this is actually going to be kind of going through the whole deck again, but I'm going to be making cuts actively as we go through this. Things that I don't like are just going to get cut right away. So, okay. So we got these guys tagged. Let's move down to the first thing. So we got the Untagged Artifacts. I only have 2 other artifacts that are tagged. At this point, this is adding a similar effect as Blanka. I do like this one. So we will use this as a similar Blanka effect. No, there won't be any jackals in this deck. I put that in the notes already. Although it is red, it could have jackals in it, but no jackals in this deck. Sorry, I'm reading your guys' chat at the same time. You guys are so distracting. Just kidding. Primal Amulet. So my instant sorcery spell. So if I'm going heavy on the instant sorcery spells, this will be a good card to have. It costs 1 less than let's see what the flip is. Can I flip it here? Change flip card image. So add 1 mana, then it's copying spells. So if I'm targeting Blanka and I get this flip, if I'm targeting Blanka, then I can double it up. That's pretty sweet because it's choosing new targets, targeting Blanka again, and then I'm doing 4 damage to everything. I'm pretty sure copy that spell and you may choose new targets. So yeah, it would double it up. I'm pretty sure that's how that one would work. So right now we're keeping this in because we got to see how many instant and sorcery effects we're going to have. Now, do I want it as a similar main idea? Oh, I might have put the tag in the wrong spot. Main idea, target Blanka. We're going to put it there. Where's the other one that I just did? Whip Silk, Snake. What did I move over here? It was the other artifact, wasn't it? This isn't similar whenever target. Yeah, okay. It'll be a similar. That's why I don't have a lot of the equipment, is because the equipment isn't a spell that is targeting. But this equipment is whenever it becomes a target of a spell, it deals 2 damage to any target. So I'm already targeting Blanka. Now I'm able to do damage either to more players or kill off creatures. So it kind of could be, what am I trying to say? It could be removal in a way, but it's only 2 damage. So I wouldn't consider it necessarily that. I think somebody suggested this on the last video towards the end. Okay, so let's start moving through our creatures. Doing damage to a targeted player or permanent deals double that damage. This will be good to have out and play. So we're going to do damage multiplier in this one. Let's just do that. Damage. Because we have a few things that will do this in this. Multiplier. I think it's PL. I-E-R, right? I think so. I think I spelled it right. Kid can't even spell. A lot of ifs happening here. Yep, I got to go through and see what's going on. I don't know how I want this deck to necessarily shake out. So the reason this popped in here later is it's going to be one less for each instant or sorcery you cast. So if I'm going heavy on the instant or sorcery route, this might only cost 2. And so then after I got done recording last time, I kind of started leaning more towards the prowess, looking into cards like that. And so that's why this one popped in there. This one's good for late game, being able to draw 3 cards. If you can play this, draw 3 cards, and then keep playing. So this one, the tags in this one, maybe I actually will do a side theme as the prowess. Side theme prowess effects. We'll just say prowess, and then I don't know, we could have that as partial draw in there. Okay, let's keep on going here. This one seems really fun. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, so this is going to work for auras and instants and sorceries. You're goading target creature opponent controls. This is only a 3-drop. Goaded creatures your opponent's control can't block. So that is also, this is a really good card for this deck, because the thing is I've seen this deck in action with number 2 playing it. Is a lot of times you're killing everybody by casting stuff, but then you are killing players by attacking through, wiping out the problem player. You're casting spells at the same time, making it so that those creatures can't block. That means Blanka's damage is just wrecking players. So this is for sure. What are we going to add this in as a tag? It could be a game winner, but I guess we would consider this one maybe a side theme with the prowess kind of thing. It's doing a similar thing. You're casting spells. Similar Blanka effect. Yeah, we're going to do the side theme prowess there, because that'll be in that spot. All right, so here's a kind of a prowess in a way, because you're casting a non-creature spell. I'd add this into the draw. So we're doing a similar side theme, and we are doing this as a draw. Because if you're casting enough spells, you're drawing enough. This is also getting bigger as well. You should run Food Chain and Perforos. I do have Perforos, just not Food Chain. Get out of Frostfang in this deck. Yeah. That we'll get to Frostfang here in a little bit with that. Okay, so this one I added later. This is pretty sweet. So this spell costs X less for the total amount of non-combat damage. That's what Blanka's doing. You have 3 players out. You cast 1 spell at Blanka, 2, 4, 6 damage. So this is already costing you 1. So 1 for a 6/6 trample. Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, this deals that much damage to target creature or planeswalker that player controls. So this is a little bit of removal and doing multiple things that Blanka is doing here. So, God, I'm almost thinking that we're doing a similar Blanka effect in this, and we are doing removal. This one I could consider removal because you're going to do a lot. You're going to do a lot of damage with this. Okay, so more prowess stuff. I don't know if I like this as much. It's not adding to my Blanka stuff. It is a non-creature spell. It's getting a 1/1 counter, which is nice. For now, we'll just do this. Similar Blanka effect. Oh, I think I might be adding too much with the... And this music is so loud in my ear. I gotta turn it down. There we go. Jeez. I feel like I'm yelling because it's doing a similar thing. Okay, so do I want to consider the prowess a similar effect? Maybe. I think I'm mixing too much of prowess stuff here. We'll keep it going. No, because then if I need to transfer things over, let's just do... We're going to change these to similar Blanka effect, just to make things a little easier, because then I think I'm just getting too many tags in there. So we'll get that one too. Delete that. Similar Blanka effect. And this is our prowess, but this one was also going to have a draw to it. We'll add draw. Okay. Okay. Let's keep moving on. All right, similar Blanka effect on take creatures. Okay, so obviously dock sides are ramp. You just need some ramp there. Got it. Boom. Dragon Rage, Channelers, or non-creature spells. So this is going to be similar to our other guys. So we're doing similar Blanka effect, but also I would say draw in a way because you have Surveil. Put that card on top of your list. So it's almost having a scry ability. So I would add that to our draw. This one's definitely... Oh, this is why I was saying the similar Blanka effect, because we're doing the damage. That's all right. We'll keep it this way. Similar Blanka effect. Because we do have quite a few of those. We have this guy whenever he casts a non-creature spell. I like that better than Electromagnetic Field because I'm going to be using the auras and everything like that. So I dig this one more. And then we got Gutter Snipe, obviously. Yeah, Dragon Rage is really good. I like that card. I had it. I think it was one of the last cuts for my Kaima deck, but this is perfect in here. Okay, so if an ability of a shaman or wizard you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Now, let me check one thing. Human Beast Warrior. So the issue, Human Beast Warrior. Okay, so it's a shaman or a wizard. So it's not going to trigger with Blanka, but it will trigger with this shaman. That's a demon. It's a horror. There's a wizard. So there's 2. Is this going to be enough? There's 3, a shaman. There's 4, a shaman. 5, a shaman. A warrior. Ooh, did it say warrior? No, shaman or another wizard. Okay. So we got 5 so far, 6 so far. And 7. So there's enough that I think this could be good enough to stay in here because it would trigger not only for this is also a wizard. So if you cast it's another wizard. Sorry, it won't work for that. So it's 7 creatures so far. Is that enough though to really make it worth it? No, it isn't actually. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it's not good enough. Yeah, cool. Doubling these triggers would be sweet. But the chances are of getting those. So we want it to work by itself. We're going to get rid of that. So this is, again, similar effect. So we're just moving that over to similar Blanka effect. You're a wizard, Ari. This seems really cool in this. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, target creature gets X+0 until end of turn where X is that spell's mana value. So you're targeting Blanka with whatever spell. It's not only getting the 2+2 bonus from it being targeted, but now it's getting X+0. So now it's easier to get through and actually kill somebody. So I really like this card for getting Blanka to get bigger. Okay, so this is one that I added later. Sorry, I get so excited for some of this stuff. I'm very excited about this one. There's going to be 2 cards that are like this. We have a green one and we have a red one. So Neheb, this was in part to the Discord. Thank you, Discord, for just having a talk about Neheb. Had nothing to do with Blanka, but then I was reading the card as, going through the Discord and everything. And I was like, oh shit, this is going to be really good in Blanka. So the cool thing about this is whenever this creature becomes blocked, whatever, that player loses 3 life, you can get the 3 mana from whatever. But that's not the point of this one. This says at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, add 1 red for each one life your opponents have lost this turn. So if this is in play and I cast one thing targeting Blanka, 2, 4, 6, at the second main phase, I'm having 6 mana sitting there, just 6 red mana. And that doesn't even include my attacks yet. So cast another spell. Now I have 12 red mana sitting there. This is just insane by itself. So this is a big threat just to be in play. I mean, it has the card by itself is a really good card, but adding that with Blanka just seems just nuts. So this is a must-have in here. I think what I would do is I'm just doing a similar effect. I don't want to call this one ramp or anything. It's just going to really intensify my stuff that I'm doing damage. And I think it could almost fit in the Day of Dragon spot. We'll see playing it through what actually happens. So yeah, I really like this. Okay, so now we get to Frostfang. I had this originally. I think I had this in the original cuts And now I kind of want to work through it a little bit and decide if I want to keep this in here. So you have Blanka attacking. Most likely we're assuming that he's going to gain that trample. If he has Death Touch, all I have to do is hit the creature. Like, even if it's a 10-10, a 20-20, whatever. If it has Death Touch, I'm pretty sure this is right. The Death Touch, or maybe that was the first strike. I might be thinking about this wrong. Might be Death Touch first strike. That might be it. I might be thinking about it wrong because we had this happen where I had an indestructible. That's where we got it. And Lowry attacked with a Death Touch first strike trampler. He's able to do the 1 damage, even though mine was indestructible. He just needed to do the 1 damage, and it killed my creature, but it didn't because it was indestructible, and all the rest went through. I don't think this works in that because the Death Touch, the 1 damage, and then the rest wouldn't go through. Am I right? Am I right thinking this, you guys? I might have to check on that one. We might not cut it yet. We might do this and move to a sideboard so I can get clarification on that one because I'm pretty sure it'd have to have the first strike in there, but maybe not with the trample and Death Touch. It might just have to do the 1 damage. Hey, what's up, Ibukake? But correct me if I'm wrong with that one. Okay, so Seedborn Muse, untap all permanents you control during each other of untap step. Maybe that's just trying to think of that. Oh, because I wanted to cast more spells. That's why, because then I was able to cast things, tap everything out, untap everything. That just might be not needed in this necessarily. How many instants do I have? Let's check that out quick. Okay, so we have 38 untagged instants. It just depends on if I'm drawing that much off of that. So I don't think I necessarily need to keep this. We need to cut things, so that's going to be a cut. Storm Kill. Yeah, this is just silly. Just silly. Whenever you cast an instant, copy that. Whenever you cast or copy an instant sorcery, create treasure. So that's going to add in. We are going to do a similar block effect and a little bit of ramp because it will add a little bit in there. Giving me my treasures. Torbrand, we're doubling some damage. Did I add damage multiplier? Oh, where was that other one? Where was my other damage multiplier? Did we... Target creature planeswalker. Did I have another damage multiplier? I don't think so. Okay, everything else is good. And then we have a similar Blanka effect. So there we go with all that. All right, my wiener. All right, guys. Settle down. I'm just kidding. All right, so now let's get into the auras. This is where I'm going to be making quite a few cuts. Like I said, I like the auras and the enchantments and stuff like that. But I think this is where I need to make some cuts. Okay, so Alpha Authority. So this is where we're going to add. So this is going to stay because enchanted creature has hexproof. Yes, we want it that way. We don't want it so I can't target Blanka. And it can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. Hell, that's fucking awesome for Blanka. So we are going to be doing main idea target Blanka. So that is where that one comes in. And it's protection. Well, let's add a little protection there. Where did you go? Main idea. So you are also going to be protection. So I have 2 spots there. That one hits 2 of my category, my blueprint building a deck thing. So those are always good cards. All right, so Ancestral Mask. This would be good. It's very good. It's a very good card if you're heavy on the enchantments. I'm going to do this to sideboard at the moment because I don't know where I'm going to be at with those. But I don't think I'm going to be as heavy as I'd like, so I don't know if I'll keep that. Okay, Arcane Bombardment. This is a sweet card. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard. Then copy each card exiled with Arcane Bombardment. You may cast the number of copies without paying their mana cost. This is just silly. This is just silly. It's good. I would almost say this could be a Day of Dragons type of card. But then we're doing a similar. Whenever you cast your first, do I want to put it as that or do I want it a main idea? I think we're doing a similar effect here. Okay, Bear Umbra, just silly as well because it's adding some protection, and we are targeting. So we got protection and main idea, and it's untapping all your lands. What more do you want? Can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control, and can't be blocked by creatures except for flying or reach. So it's adding some evasiveness to my Blanka. Main idea and protection as well. So we're adding some protection on there. I'm pretty sure you don't know how to make a deck. Hey, I have a Daryl deck. A deck. Oh, that's greener. Okay. So why bother? I'll make one. Don't worry, baby. I'll get it. All right. So back to the targeting and being able to target. So we got the main idea, and you just keep popping this in and out of your hand. This is going to be simple. You tap 1, 2 damage to everybody. And Blanka gets 2+2. Tap 1, bring it back to my hand. Tap 1, 2 damage. Now imagine that, having that out, and you've just done a shit ton of damage. This just gets silly in your second main phase. So this is why the aura stuff is going to be really nice in this. All right. Dual casting. I think I added this later. Enchanted creature has tap 1, copy target, insert a sorcery spell that you may choose new targets. This one's going because I don't really want Blanka to tap, because I want him to attack. So I think Blanka's more effective. Granted, this will add an additional 2 damage to everybody, but he's going to be more effective killing off a player. So I think this one is removing that. Fiery, this just a damage multiplier. Damage multiplier. There we go. Cradles for being. I don't have any cradles in here yet. Look at it's just basics, buddy. It's just basics. It's just my basic deck. No, we'll change that later. Okay, so Fiery Mantle. This one's gonna go because this has to go into the graveyard from play, and then it's returned to my hand. So this just seems kind of slow in this. This one, I want the ability to return. So yeah, this one's 2/2. It does have the flash ability, which is nice, but then I can pop it back and forth into my hand. So this could be a surprise thing where they're killing off Blanka, and I'm like, well, before you kill Blanka, boom, 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 damage, and maybe kill somebody. So we're gonna keep this one in because I like the popping in and out of my hand. Okay, Hydra. So enters the battlefield, get a 1/1 counter. Beginning your upkeep, double the counters. Good. This will go sideboard for now because we could add that later. Instill energy. If I'm tapping a lot, yeah, that'd be good. But right now we're just removing that guy. Keen Sense. This is one of the top cards to add in this. This is one of the things that Lowry, when I was telling him I was building, he's like, you're going to have Keen Sense and Snake Umbra in there, right? And I was like, yeah. Not remembering. I knew that I drew off of them, but I didn't realize it's deals damage to opponents. So that's the 2 damage to everybody. Draw, draw, draw. 2 damage to everybody. Draw, draw, draw. Not only that, if I attack and do damage, draw off of that. So this is a must-have. It's a draw. Probably that and Snake Umbra are the best 2 cards in this. Well, 2 cards probably in the deck. Snake Umbra I would probably take as number 1 because the protection part. But they're both going to be drawing me a ton of cards off of that. Okay, so we got similar Blanka. Okay, so we're down here. If it's a good card, would you have suggested it? We would have suggested it. Urabrask. Oh, Urabrask, yeah. Paul's my guy with the Urabrask. We both think this is a good card. I didn't. You suggested it last time. Let's see. This time, whenever you play an instant, defending player may have destroy target artifact that player controls. Whenever deals combat damage. Yeah, this team seems a little too clunky for this, so we're gonna get rid of that. At the end of turn, return it to owner's hand again. A little clunky. Blanka already has haste, so they're really the only thing I'm getting the effect of is it's going to be the 2 damage on my turn. So I guess it could add in. So we won't remove it. We'll do sideboard at this point. We tried to rip them apart. Yeah, this is not what this spotlight's supposed to be. You're supposed to help me out with this. I like when I get cards that you guys suggest cards that I didn't even think of. Like if Live Wire Lash was one of the ones that I wasn't even on my radar for this, and it's in there. It's because of you guys. See, you guys can help. Mark of Sakiko. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, add that much green to your mana pool. So it's doing that similar red thing, and I like it. Me likey. We're going to add that as main targeting. So that's going to be based on my attacking, but I will get the 2 damage from targeting in the first place. So dig that card. Whenever creature deals combat damage to a player, you may search your library for a basic land card. Put it on the battlefield tapped. I mean, it's 1 and dealing 2 damage to everything. So we're going to do a sideboard on that guy. All right. Primeval Bounty. So 6, you may cast, or whenever you cast a creature spell, we're not going to do that very often. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put 3 counters on target creature control. That seems pretty good. You add that to Blanka, so you're casting non-creature spells. That's all I'm trying to do here. Put it on Blanka. Maybe Blanka's been killed too many times. I can put it on other things I have here. So this seems pretty decent. We'll do similar Blanka effect. There we go. It might get cut here though. Not gonna lie. Rancor. Okay, so we cut something that was based off of, what was it? It was graveyard. I think I straight up just cut it. So Rancor is a 1-drop. It'll give it trample, but Blanka's gonna be easy to get trample. 3 or more spells, it gains trample. 2 deck seems to be pretty good. Number 2's deck. His deck is pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep Rancor in here or not. It doesn't seem like I'm able to abuse it as much as I would like. But the 1-drop giving 2+0 and then potential coming back to my hand. We'll keep it for now. It might get cut when we're getting down there. All right, Season of Growth. Thanks to Lowry on this. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good in this because you're just targeting all over the place. So this could be used in 2 ways. You can put it on somebody else's creature, or by targeting your own, and you're getting treasures every time you attack with it. You're having to attack each turn, but I think you're wanting to anyways. So I'm actually putting this as main idea targeting Blanka. And you're getting ramp off of it. You're getting some treasure, so I like that. 6 cents whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw. Did I get rid of one that did the draw? No, it was the getting land whenever a creature controls deals damage. I really want to know if that worked the way I was thinking Frostfang. Okay, so we're just going to keep that as draw. 6 cents. Okay, Sticky Fingers. This seems pretty sweet. So it's a 1-drop. At least when your creature dies, you get to draw. So that's a bonus to if they kill your stuff. But it says whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. So it's a 1-drop that gives you treasure off of attacking. So I dig that. And if they kill your guy, you get to draw off of it. Seems pretty decent. Sunbird's Invocation. Whenever you cast a spell from your hand, reveal the top X cards of your library. So you're able to go into multiples and cast spells that you're targeting Blanka. This can get really sick. So I would almost say that this one is a Day of Dragons effect. And I would say it's not a multiplier, but I'll say similar Blanka effect. Sylvan Library, we're just adding that to our draw. That just helps us with drawing. Draw. Lots of that. All right, what are we down to with our auras? Nope, I don't want ramp. I should have kept this as auras and instants. Okay, so we have quite a few in there. Okay. Talons of the Wildwood. So no, because it's 3 to bring from your graveyard to your hand. And it needs to go to your graveyard. So that just isn't helping. Unquenchable Fury. Whenever this creature attacks, it deals X damage to defending player where X is the number of cards in their hand. It's put in the graveyard. Nope. Again, I don't want to deal with that. These vows and the shiny impetus They could be on your creature, which are always good for Voltron stuff, but then they can also make it so that other people are just attacking and not attacking you. So I like these. We're going to add these as main idea because you're going to be targeting Blanka to get him bigger. That one's giving first strike, so we can hit the first strike, kill the creature, whatever. They have death touch, you get around it. Wilderness Reclamation, beginning of your end step, or untap all lands you control. So that was adding into Seedborn. Did I throw Seedborn down here? Did I even throw it? I thought I got rid of Seedborn. Maybe I didn't at this point. Seedborn. I did get rid of Seedborn, didn't I? So my thought with this one was it was a non-creature spell. So you could get away with some of these other things that were benefiting from non-creature spells. I don't know if it's good enough to keep in here. For now, we'll just do... if I'm already thinking that, then we just need to do this. The problem is, what I'm running into is how this deck wants to work. It's different than Daryl. When I did Daryl, it's a lot of instant speed stuff, and you're waiting until it's about to be your turn. That's why the deck does really well, is because it's like, okay, no one attacked me, so I don't need to wipe the board. I can ramp instead. Whereas this deck is more of playing on your turn. And so I was thinking of Seedborn Muse and Wilderness Reclamation because I'm casting a lot of spells during my turn and then not being able to protect Blanka because you want those spells to be cast during your turn. So there's a lot of sorceries, there's a lot of instants, there's a lot of auras. So what I was trying to do was have those things in there that would help me cast things later, have an answer. We'll see how it goldfishes out and how this all shakes out. If that I'm running into a problem with that, I'll probably add those back in, get Seedborn back in, get Wilderness Reclamation. But we'll see how these all work out, how everything works. I mean, if I have enough of these other things for blockers and for things, I can maybe cast things still on other people's turns. I'll just have to balance how much I want to cast. Because the thing is, you want Blanka to go through and do the damage. You don't want to wait on somebody else's turn and go, all right, now I cast this spell, this spell, this spell. I do 6 damage to everybody. And Blanka's now a 2, 4, 6, an 11/11 trampler, but now I am not attacking anybody. So you lose out on that attack phase. So that's kind of why I was throwing those in there. So we'll see how these all work out. Okay, so this one is I can remove a red card from my hand rather than pay this. So this is kind of a cool little free spell in a way if I have enough draw in there. And then it gets Blanka gets Expo. So it's also adding in. So this is going to be our targeting effect. And it's doing a similar thing, getting Blanka bigger. And it's an instant. So it could be somebody blocks and then you're like, oh, I remove this card and Blanka just gets 2 bigger and X from whatever that spell's casting cost is. All right, so this is where we're going to add in the protection. As I was talking about, protecting our stuff, keeping one up for that. So this is kind of cool because I didn't do this with Kaima. I had that idea because I was not playing a lot of equipment stuff. And so now the cards that I cut for Kaima are perfect for this because it's targeting one thing and I'm getting a bonus from that. So Price of Glory. Oh, I have that card in foil.
Oh, good
really
for
let
you.
me hang on. Let me get that in just a second. And this is gonna be protection. I know. I forget what that card does again. Price of Glory. Let's get. Whenever a player taps and land for mana during another player's turn, destroy the... Oh, yeah. That's such a douchey card. This is, I like the way you're thinking. Yeah, you get the counterspell players out of there. Well, I would put this as a sideboard because it's funny, but I'm probably going to be casting a lot of things. So I know it's not going to work because that's my protection. I can't. I like how you're thinking, though. Piss a lot of the blue players off playing that card. Okay, so tap 2, target creature gets X plus X, where X is the greatest amount of value among creature permanents you control, permanents, and untap it. So Blanka is, at the very least, a think it's a 5-drop. Pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah, 5-drop. So he's gonna, you tap 2. He gets 2+2, and then he gets 5+5. So he's a 12/12 just for 2. That's insane. So, and then if it was tapped, you could whatever. This just seems really good for targeting. Definitely like that in here. Okay. Target creature gains trample until end of turn. Draw a card. Yep. Adds draw. Targeting. It's a little draw. It's not big. Crimson Wisp. It's red. Gains haste. It already has haste. So some of these might get cut. But it's doing what we want to do there. Chaos Warp. Which one is that? I know Chaos Warp, but what's the... I want to... reiterate? Is that what you're saying? Is that one? Which one is that? Where is he? RRR. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Source field that targets only a single permanent or player. For each other permanent or player that spell could target, put a copy of that spell. Oh man. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Oh, I think Lowry played this. Yeah, when we were in person, I'm pretty sure Lowry did this. And it was brutal. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure, but not like with Chaos Warp, but just this card in general. I think, or maybe it was number 2. God, I don't remember. Choose an instant resource spell that targets only a single permanent or player. For each other permanent or player that could target it. Yeah, that's just silly. That's just silly. We'll do this. Deflect and Swat. We're just going to put that one for protection. Good card. Good card. In response, Chaos Warp, just blow up everything. Yes. Including your stuff. But hey, it'd be interesting to see what happens. All right, so we got more draw targeting. So 1 drop, 2 damage to everybody. Not protection. It's draw. Draw, main idea. Save it. All right, draw a card until end of turn. Target creature gains trample and 1+0 for each card you've drawn this turn. Okay. So we got the draw and a little bit of pump. Oh, the other thing I forgot, and we're going to get to this in a sec. I did add in some storm stuff in here. So there is a little bit of a storm side theme, I would say. Takes forever. Yeah. Takes. You're right. Everybody would hate that. All right. So we got some removal. This is just good removal. I know I like to stay in theme, but sometimes you just got to grab the good removal. Giant Growth. We're going to pop this guy out because I want it to do more than just get him big. Hapatra. We're getting our hexproof. So we got targeting and protection. And if it had -1/-1 counters, whatever. This is just you green straight up protection. Heroic Intervention. Choose target creature you control. Whenever that creature deals combat damages to a player this turn, draw that many cards. This could get sick. Like, and it's at instant speed. So that's kind of the cool thing is you wait until they've chosen their blockers. And then you're like, well, boom, Blanka's bigger and I'm going to draw this much. And thank you very much. So I think that's a must have in there. What did I have? Inscription of Abundance. A 2/1/1 target creature. Oh! Choose one. If that spell is kicked, choose any number instead. Target creature. So I still have to get clarification on this. I didn't do that in between. I was talking with Lowry a little bit about this. I think if I was to choose, if I kicked it and I put 2 counters on target creature and did target creature fights target creature you don't control, I don't think Blanka gets the double because it's 1 spell. I'm pretty sure. Choose any number instead. Because if it said, I don't know how you would get it to double on that whenever a target of a spell. So I think it only does it once, but Lowry said maybe to check on that one. I will probably still check on this because this seems like if you could do both for 5, is that worth it? You get 2 counters and you're fighting something. Blanka's doing 4 damage to everybody and getting 4+4. That might be worth it because you're getting well, Blanka, not only 4+4 plus 2/1/1 counters, he's actually turning into, again, an 11/11 and fighting something. That might be worth it. So I'm going to check on that one. You guys might not know if it works or not, but I'm going to add that for a little bit of removal because we're fighting. So that's my creature removal on this. It's spot removal in the fighting aspect. If you control forest rather than pay this mana, yeah, this is easy. Not paying mana and just lose 3 life and you have a forest. I'm going to have a forest because of dual lands.
Oh, good for you.
And it gets 4+4. Yeah. Yeah, really 6+6. So you got an 11/11 for 3 life. Sure. 3 life. I'll do that. That's a freebie right there. You don't have to pay any mana for that. That seems pretty good. Unscripted would only trigger once. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was pretty sure, but we were going to check on it just to make sure. But yeah, thank you for clarifying that. But yeah, I figured because the whole card is one spell. It's not when you trigger each mode is not triggering a new spell. It's one spell. And that was the way I was thinking of it too. So, cool thing here. Yes, this is kind of a higher casting cost for a fight, but it is adding that if I'm mana screwed thing. I like to add these a little bit more lately. I want them to keep doing this, especially with mana, because it gets away from people being mana screwed, mana fucked, all that. But this is adding something that I want to do with the fighting. So it's main idea, Blanka. Removal is because we're fighting another creature. So like that card and that it's instant target equipment, attach target equipment to target creature. No, because I don't have very much equipment. I mean, it's targeting the creature, but it's not going to help me there. Protection and targeting. Yep. Keeping that in main idea and protection. Again, we can pay 2 life instead of paying anything, and you're pumping them. Yeah, I think we keep that there. Main idea. The Fury gains double strike. Yeah, and you're drawing, at the very least, you're drawing off of that. Sure. I dig that. Ram through is very sweet. I like this because of the target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. If that creature has, if that creature you control has trample, which let's do this as our 3rd or 4th spell or 5th spell or 6th spell, it will deal excess damage to that creature's controller instead. That seems pretty sick to do without even going to the attack, and you're also removing. That seems pretty cool in this. Not protection. We want removal because again, we're fighting. It's not actually fighting though. That one won't be fighting. That's just dealing damage. So if another creature is bigger than Blanka or would kill Blanka, the nice thing is it's just your creature dealing the damage. Okay, I think Ramsey last time mentioned this, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. I don't know if I want to play this one. He was saying to do it on your auras to get rid of them and do all that stuff. But I want to keep, the idea of the auras was to keep bouncing them in and out. Each one of those is ones that I'd actually want to pop in and out of there. Okay, we got some hexproof, so we're targeting main idea and protection. Yes. Reckless rage. So tap 1, 4 damage to target creature you don't control. So it's kind of a removal. 2 damage to target creature you do control. Is that worth it? 2 damage to Blanka. 2 damage to everybody. Yeah, for 1. I don't think so. We're getting rid of that one. All right, now we're getting into Storm. Maybe I'm going to add a little. There isn't much Storm I have in this. As many as I could get. But it deals 1 damage to target creature. Storm. So if I play this in the second main phase, I can just deal 1 damage to Blanka. Every time I target Blanka, he gets 2/2. So I'm not going to kill Blanka. Even if I cast 500 spells that turn. It's ridiculous if I did that, but you know what I'm saying. It's never going to kill Blanka because every time he's going to get 2/2, 2/2, 2/2. So this is just going to be pretty sick in this. Let's see. We're going to do, I think main idea. but I want to add like Storm into this. No, we'll just keep it as the main idea. That's just, I think it's one of 3 cards that have Storm. Hexproof, gain life equal that creature's toughness. Woo! That could really change things. That could, I didn't think I had gain life in here, and I forgot that I added that in there. So it's targeting main idea. Silk Guard's one of my favorite new cards. New-ish cards. Put a 1/1 counter each up to X target creatures you control. So now we're targeting Blanka. And so then we get to do our fun stuff. And then everything that is an aura, an equipment, and modified creatures gets hexproof. So we get protection as well. An idea protection. Oops. Yep, and protection. There we go. Snake Skin Veil gets hexproof. Put in a counter. Sure. So we got a lot of these where it's protection and main idea. Target creature deals damage to any target creature control deals damage equal to its power to any target. Yep, that could be a game winner in a way. And I guess removal in a way. And we'll do that. We have 3 categories that kind of hits. This one's super fun because the hexproof and indestructible. I know it's it's a permanent, so it can be anything, but the fact that it's doing the heroic intervention on a stick, it's just 1 creature, but that's fantastic for this because I'm really just caring about my 1 creature for the most part. That's what it turns into, is what I'm hoping with all these bad boys over here, playing these guys, not necessarily this, but they become secondary because everybody's gonna be focused on Blanka. That's what happened when number 2 was playing it. A lot of it, it was get Blanka gone because Blanka was pretty sick if you let it sit on there. But these guys will do just as much work if Blanka gets removed enough or gets neutered. Like, I can still win the game with other things. I don't necessarily need Blanka's going to help, but I do have other things that will do a similar effect. So it's nice to have multiple things doing that. So this is adding the double strike, and then if it's greater than 4, of course it's going to be greater than 4. It already is before you even cast the spell. It's going to gain trample. So yeah, for 2, double strike, trample. Yep, that's pretty crazy. This was a scry one. Ooh. 1, 3+1. Okay. We're keeping it there for now. We got some cuts we got to do. We got 45 cards to cut. We've cut like 20. I think we were at 165, I think is what I was at. So we've already been doing pretty good here. Double the power of target creature you can until end of turn. Sure. That could be pretty crazy. There. Veil of Summer. I think this was a later ad. I think it might have been Renshai or somebody else from Discord might have said to put this one in there. It might have been Renshai. But it's a draw. If an opponent casts a blue or black spell this turn, spells you control can't be countered this turn, which is nice if I'm going to be going off with all this stuff. And then permanents you control gain hexproof and protection from, or hexproof from blue and black until end of turn. So it's kind of a protection, but it's also, so I'm not targeting this one. This will be protection, mostly just protection in that. Vines of the vast wood can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control for 1. That's if it was kicked for 2, it gets 4+4. Yeah, that's protection on a stick and main idea. Veil of Summer should go in. Yeah, to be honest with you, Renshai, that's the first time I put Veil of Summer in decks, and I'll tell you the reason why I don't do that as often. Is for the, let me just get to it just so we can kind of go through it. When there's a stipulation on a color, like if it's normally if it's just one color, like if it says counter target blue spell, I hate that because I don't want a dead card in my hand. The fact that this says blue or black, I dig that a lot more. But the other part of it is the spells can't be countered until end of turn. I'm casting a lot of spells. People play blue and black. It'd be crazy. I don't think I've ever been in a game that people aren't playing blue or black. So I'm a little more, I can play this card because people actually do play both of those colors. You think it's just as good as Heroic Intervention? Yeah, I mean, I can see being able to, especially as Spell Slinger, if I'm trying to get a lot of these spells to resolve, this is a very good card. I like it. So we'll see. I've never played with it before. I have it, but I have never played with it. So we'll see if it stays in. I'm pretty sure it'll stay in here. Target creature gets 1+0 and draw a card. So we're adding a little draw, targeting, replacing the card that you're playing. So main idea and draw. It kind of is reminding me a little bit of the auras that I'm having, the blink, where it's going in, coming back, going in, coming back, doing the similar effect. The draw is allowing me to keep going through and also trigger the other abilities of things. Most important part is spells can't be countered this turn. Yep. Even stops red counters. Yep. I agree. So, and the thing is everybody plays blue and black. If you're in a 4-person game, somebody's going to have blue or black. So it should help you in at least with that. And then, yes, if somebody's playing blue, it stops the counters or like you said, red. Until end of turn, up to 2 target creatures you control each gain. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw. So there's 2 creatures. Maybe I attack with 2. I can draw a card or 2 off of that. I'm targeting. So we got draw in there. We got targeting. So it's working. It's 1. Target creature gains indestructible. I might have enough protection, but we'll see. We'll get down there and check it out. Okay. So we're still down to 145. We're getting down. Okay, so we're down to the last few cards, and then we got to go back through and start making the big cuts of everything. All right, so what sorceries do we have? Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, then that creature deals damage to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. For 2, that's not bad. That's my removal. What do we have for removal, guys? 8. And how much do we want for removal? 5 to 15. So we need maybe a little bit more in there. I don't have enough. This main idea, because we're going to be targeting. I don't have enough like enchantment and artifact removal, so I might have to tweak that later. Cut some basic lands. I actually will probably cut some basic lands. But again, I just put these on here. I don't want to go through the land bases. Those are normally later. And actually, we are going to be doing a blueprint episode on which ones we like to use for basic lands. Or not basic, for lands. In 2-color decks, 3-color decks, 4-color decks, 1-color decks, 5-color decks. Right now, I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on the deck itself. Your lands are your utility lands are just adding to make your deck work better. So you're going to do things that the deck does well. So like I'll add in Rogue's Passage to make it so Blanka's unblockable. I'll add in Reliquary Tower to make it so my hand is unlimited and all that fun stuff. Get the dual lands, the shock lands. I'm going to add in a bunch, all the main staples that I like to add in my decks, but I won't do that, waste time here. If I end up doing a 3rd episode of this, then I will have those ready and we can go over them there. I'm hoping I can try to cut down 45 tonight. We're just past the hour mark in this, so we'll see. We cut 20 cards here. If I can cut 45 in the next hour or so, I probably won't be able to, but we'll see. All right, double cast. I think this got suggested later too. Whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for it. Sure. But I'd rather something else take the spot instead of waiting on my next instant or sorcery. So I'm actually going to remove that one. Grape Shot. Here's another storm card. So we're going to do our second one, but this one's a sorcery instead of the instant before. So we're doing main idea. And it's the storm. That's just going to help there. Insult to injury might be nice sorcery. In fact, it is. It's in here. Ha ha ha. Good suggestion, Doji. Because I already have it in here. Damage can't be prevented this turn. If that source would deal damage this turn, it deals double that. So we're a doubler. And then you have the Aftermath. It deals 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target player. So you could use the Aftermath part to target Blanka. So you could add that in. But we're mainly using this for a damage multiplier. Okay, another storm card. Target creature without flying can't block this turn. So you're just going to keep targeting Blanka for 1. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Keeping that in there. Let's see. Hunter's Prowess. So this is 5. But whenever, or until end of turn, target creature gets 3/3 in trample. That's fun. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw that many cards. The fact that it says draw that many cards, and the only problem is it's not an instant, but that's fine. It's getting 3/3. You're attacking the player that can't handle it, and you're going to draw and replace your hand. So this is definitely staying in there. Main target for Blanka. Yeah, Insult to Injury is going to be a good card in this. Okay. Mage Duel. It costs 2 less if you cast another instant or sorcery spell this turn. So you could potentially have this be only 1. Target creature you control gets 1/2, and it fights 8. We like it because it's removal. We wanted some more removal. Got a lot of removal for creatures. I'll probably, like I said, I might add in later. And again, after I finish the decks, even after the videos, you guys, if you wanted to look back and check the deck again, whenever I change the deck here in person on my wall, like my in real life deck, I change it on Moxfield for most part. So if I do some tweaks, I'll make the necessary tweaks on there. So if I'm done with this later and I'm like, yeah, I got it all cut, check back in like a week or so, and after I've played it once or twice, then you'll see what the tweaked version of it is. And the plan is actually, once our decks are done, which we're going to start doing that here. Now that kids are getting into school and all that stuff and we're out of summer, we're going to start working on that a little bit too. But we're going to do actual, not searching for the spotlight. It will be just straight up spotlight, where it'll be going through the deck, probably Lowry and myself, like we used to do, but having both of us kind of work through the deck. So that is in the works to actually go through this down the road. And that will be the final version of our decks. And of course, we'll have the switcheroo where as cards and stuff come out, and our decks will be updated online as well. So, all right, let's keep moving. Primal Might. Target creature gets X+X until end of turn, then fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So we got a little bit of removal. You're also getting your creature huge. You're getting Blanka huge. Yeah. We're going to add removal on that because we're fighting. Rishkar's Expertise. Draw cards equal to the greatest power. That's going to be good. We're going to get draw and draw card equal to the greatest power among creatures. Oh, it's not targeting, so we're not getting that. But we are getting draw. And then you cast something for free. So we always like that. Enjoy that. So it'll be both of you building a deck together or separate? No, so we'll build like we're doing now. And we're always going to have searching for the spotlight of us building the deck. But then after the deck is done, the searching for the spotlights are typically 2 hours plus long. Hour to 2, sometimes 3. I think Larry's hit a 3-hour mark of his. When we do the spotlight, what that's going to be is us going through the final deck. And just, it'll be probably a 20 to 30 minute video instead of these long videos. And just both of us going through the deck that Lowry just made or I just made. We'll probably knock these out in a day. And I don't think those will be live necessarily because we want to focus on the deck. And it'll be more for people if they want to build a similar deck. So we're going to kind of go through that kind of stuff. So that's in the works. We've always had that plan when we started this. We just haven't gone back and done our actual decks yet. So that'll be coming up here shortly. We got a lot of video ideas, not video ideas, just decks or ideas, videos that we were planning on doing from the get-go. We just haven't gotten to it yet. Okay, so round 2, which is actually Seize the Day. Untap target creature. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. So this is just giving you killed 1 player with your Blanka. Now let's kill the second player with Blanka. It's just a silly way to kill everybody. And then you can flashback it and you can do it again. And Blanka still does its 2 damage to everybody and gets 2/2. So we got some fighting going on, and proliferating doesn't really matter. It's more of targeting and removal. And then draw cards equal to the power of target creature you control. So Blanka, you're targeting him, so you're going to get the 2/2. You're doing damage. And we are drawing cards. Yes, yes, and yes. All right, Verdant Confluence. So choose 3. This was the one where I brought up to Lowry and we were trying to figure out if we could use, if each one triggered it, but it's, like you said, it's 1 spell, so it's not going to trigger it 3 times. But you can put 2 counters on target creature control, return target permanent from your graveyard to your hand. It is a permanent, so we're not going to be able to target our instants and sorceries. Search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. So the nice thing, excuse me, is you can add, but it's 6. 6, 6, 6. I think that's too much. We're going to remove that. I liked it, liked the idea of it, but I think that's too much. Okay. I don't remember exactly what we started with, but it was in the 160s. So we've at least probably cut about 20 cards going through this. We now have everything separated. Our main idea is huge, huge. We now need to go through and start making cuts. Okay, so our Day of Dragons, we have 4. What do we want for Day of Dragons? 3 to 5. We have 4 of them that I would consider pretty close to Day of Dragons. This is any target. You can kill a player. This is how you win the game. Our damage multipliers, we have 4 of those as well. I would probably consider that. It's not necessarily a side theme. It's just an added category. I guess you could say pet cards. Angrath, let's see. We got 8. That's 6. That's 4. We're not going to touch these yet, but this one might go. We can get to our draw stuff. Since we added some really good draw later on there, I think we can get rid of some things. So, yes, he is getting prowess. Instant sorceries. How many instant sorceries do we have? 35. Sorceries 20. So those will go down, obviously. Only cut the red cards. You don't need them. What is our balance here? We are at 41.56. So I am heavier on the green. All right, let's start working through these. This is doing a similar effect. So would I have that in a similar effect? I do, don't I? Where's my similar stuff? Okay, so he is there. Prowess for each instant sorcery card in your graveyard. So this late game is going to be 2. Now, is it strong enough that late game it's going to help me much? I mean, it's going to draw me cards. I guess I could dump my hand by drawing cards and then draw 3 cards off of it. Maybe it isn't worth cutting yet. It might be though, because the prowess is not. I think we have enough draw off of this stuff. Yeah, let's get rid of that. This one gets 1+0 until end of turn. No, I like this one adding in there whenever you cast. This is our draw stuff. That's draw. That's draw. I wanted to get into more of our. What do we got for draw? Draw is normally. Where's my draw? 7 to 15. So we're a little heavy on the draw stuff. Is there anything in here that stands out? 1, you're drawing a card, 2 damage. These are nice to replace them. You're tapping 1, tapping 1. This is nice to add in. This is that similar effect. The haste isn't going to matter much here, but we are getting draw off of it. Draw a card until end turn. Target creature gains trample. That helps a little bit if you're not getting those 3 spells. You should be. Target deals combat damage to a player. Draw. We like those. We like that. We like that. We like that. We like that. Like that. Like that. Okay, so these Sylvan Library is just always good to have. So we're going to keep this as is at this point. We're going to change that later because we have 19. That's a lot. The main idea, though, 55. We have a lot. Main idea is normally 15 to 25. What just happened there? Who donated what? Oh, somebody just subscribed. Sweet. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for subscribing. It's like, what is that noise? No one's donating. We're not. This is a podcast night. I'm not going to. I mean, I do have it so I could have jelly beans, but I don't want to. I got worried there for a second. Okay. Let's start going through the main idea of. Do we want to hit the main idea? Or let's hit the duplicates. The similar Blanka effects. Okay, so I like this. This could be crazy. This is good. The scrying, we just talked about that. This is insane. We're going to get rid of Deep Root whenever you cast a non-creature spell. Man, oh man, guys. I know it's not adding to the Blanka effect, but it's doing a similar thing. So it's like I have this going on and it's getting bigger as I'm doing other things. So it's that secondary threat that I'm trying to think here. But I think we have enough going on with other stuff and Blanka's big enough that I think we can remove that. We'll get this guy to the sideboard at this point. But I think we have enough going on with everything else. Instant sorcery spell. I really wish everything was non-creature because that would be sweet. Cut all the green. No, how dare you? You do not cut green cards. I will, however, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, 3 cards. Whenever you put a land on your control, gain through that. I am going to cut this one. This one's a little expensive. The 3/1/1 counters seems sweet. But I think it's just too much for what I'm doing here. This will also be a sideboard guy because that might come back in later. Sunbirds. Sunbirds you're thinking cutting? But you could trigger into casting another spell. Without paying its mana cost, the rest of the bottom are in a random order. Sunbirds seems like it'd be really good in it. Do you have this in your deck, number 2, Sunbirds? Livewire Lash. Creature becomes a target of a spell. Target creature. This creature deals 2 damage to any target. So you're just getting it on Blanka. Is that enough damage to make a difference? All right, which guys do I have here? We have Instant or Sorcery 2. This is non-creature 1. Sunbirds is pretty... at least most things are 1 and 2 mana. Sunbirds is pretty crazy sick. I've seen number 2 actually cast it multiple times in multiple decks. You never hit anything. You don't have it in there. Okay. Missed a lot for you. I've tried many decks performs. Yeah. I've seen number 2's played it, and I don't know what deck you have it in number 2. I've seen you play that, and it just wrecks face. And it might be good in this, but we'll see. Similar Blanka effects. We're looking at side themes, 7 to 9. I'm trying to decide if Livewire Lash is enough. 2 and then 2, so you're really looking at 4 to attach. I think this might go to my sideboard as well. More expensive, yeah. What is my mana curve on this? Oh, it's way down there. 1.8. 1.8? That's pretty crazy. All right. Okay, out of all these guys here, if... how many auras did I do? I have enchantments. These are my creatures. I have 20. So I have quite a few... enchantments. We're definitely heavier on the sorceries and instants, so we'll keep all of our stuff that we're dealing with, the sorceries and instants. And that is the scrying. That's going to help a little bit. That's going to add in the bonus there. Sunbirds. We might have enough draw where we don't need Sunbirds, so I guess at the moment we'll just do that. Sideboard. We're down to 14. Side theme, we need to be down to 9. 1 damage to each opponent. We're creating 1/1 elemental tokens. So we're making a meat force with that. I guess that helps. It's 1 drop and you get nothing. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, because everything's low casting cost. That's a good point. I can see what you're saying there. Okay, Young Pyromancer might be... How many creatures we got? I got 22, but we're more of a Voltron style deck. So I might not be as concerned with Young Pyromancer. Try to see if there's anybody else that stands out. I might move on because we made a few cuts here. So let's get into our removal. We have 12. Again, I'm going to need to get more instant or enchantment and artifact removal. So right now it's just Force of Vigor for that. I can hit up the other stuff later. So at this point we have Chandra's, which is kind of our Day of Dragons, one of our Day of Dragons. Deals that much damage to our creatures, so we're hitting that. Put a 1/1 counter. For 2, we're fighting. How much fighting stuff? 1. For 2. Yep, 2. 3. 4. And this could be potentially 1, but it's not an instant. This one's could be really brutal. 5. For 1. Fights target creature. So this is going to be similar to this, but this gives 1+2. And this one seems a lot more brutal. Is there anything? Proliferate isn't going to really help me much. So we're going to get rid of you. I like Ram Through because it's not fighting. Her deals damage to a target creature you don't control. So again, these two are similar. So it's not the fight. Fighting's fine. But it's better when you don't have to fight, when it's just dealing the damage. So you don't have to worry about your creature dying, and it's more of targeting. So we'll keep these two there. I like these. This one I might get rid of. Fight. Well, we'll at least get this to sideboard. So we're down to 10 removal. Oh, 5 to 15. I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at side theme. So I'm going to keep it where we're at. I want 10 removal. I'm probably going to, like I said, I'm going to add in more of the enchantment and artifact removal. I'm going to have to do that later. I don't want to go search for stuff now, unless you guys can think of some things that you would think would be good adds in here. So our ramp, we're at the top of it. 13 to 17 ramp / mana rocks, mana dorks. I don't see anything. I like my Oracle. Play with top lands. Play an additional land. We had this discussion on Discord. A lot of people aren't playing Oracle lately. I like playing Oracle in my green decks a lot. But what I'm getting at is, do I want to get out of creatures and just stick with the non-creature spell? So it triggers these guys. Non-creature spell. Non-creature spell. So we have 1, 2... 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That isn't going to trigger there. 7 different things that would trigger off of me ramping. So if I had those out and I'm casting a ramp spell, even if it's late game, it's like, well, I'm getting ramp, but it's also triggering these other things. So that's kind of why I was leaning towards that kind of stuff. The ones I have in, I like. So we'll keep them in for now, but what might end up happening is these might switch into spells. Not this guy. Stormkiln's going to stay in there. But they might switch into spells rather, or instants or sorceries instead of creatures. So I can take advantage of that. But right now we'll stick with our ramp is at our top end of our ramp stuff. Okay, so protection stuff. 5 to 9, and I have 16. Now, it is a Voltron heavy deck, so I do want quite a bit more protection stuff. So let's kind of work through these. I can kind of see some I might get rid of right off the bat. We're keeping that guy in. This is adding the hexproof and a 2+2 bonus. Dig that. Hapatra's the hexproof. Heroic's good. That covers everything. Indestructible. 1+1. Hexproof 1+1. That's only 2 or 1 drop. Snake Umbra. The Veil. Hexproof until end of turn. I like the 1/1 counter. So that's better than this one. So let's get rid of... How many indestructibles do we have? 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's like a hexproof. 4. So this is a 1-drop indestructible. Is the 1+1 as important as a 1-drop? Probably not. We're gonna get rid of that one. Vines. Vines gives the 4+4 if I kick it. Spells or abilities your opponents control. So we got hexproof there. So target creature, put a 1/1 counter. And we'll get rid of that one. All right, 14. What do I want? 5 to 9. Deflecting Swat, I just want to keep in there. The interesting thing about Deflecting Swat is I could, if somebody's targeting their creature to give it a bonus, I could target, and now I'm targeting Blanka. Hang on, because Blanka will get that is whenever it becomes target, right? Becomes a target of a spell. So it's when people are doing kill spells for it, if you're just targeting Blanka, it also will do its effect. So Deflecting Swat onto Blanka, it could be an interesting take on that. We're at 14. I want to get down. Let's get down a few more here. Not much because, again, we're doing Voltron, so we're trying to protect Blanka as much as possible. Veil of Summer of a card. Oh, it's going to be a draw. Your permanents you control gain hexproof from blue and from black until end of turn. We cut a couple there. Let's move on to our big guy since we cut quite a few. Let's hit this guy, the main idea, right? Because we got enough draw I didn't want to touch much of, so we're going to hit the main idea here. Okay. So let's see what our auras returning. I like the 1-drop return. We just talked about that one. This one playing for free by throwing a red card out. This could be very fun. That could be interesting. That could be okay. So now we got to get to the 1-drop draw cards. Choose target creature whenever you draw that many cards. I like that one. It's the ones where it's only drawing for the damage are the ones that I don't necessarily want. Haste, draw a card. What is it with draw? Draw. 7 to 15. So I don't want to cut too many of these. I like the double strike there. I'm kind of jumping up here because they're going to be part of the main idea as well. So let's see if there's any that we want to cut here. Gains haste until the turn. Crimson Wisp might be one that I get rid of. Because we're at 19 there. Haste, these two. We're going to do this. And we're going to do this. Get into a sideboard because I don't necessarily want them completely gone. That gives another bonus of the double strike. I dig that. To a player, you may draw a card. So this stays on it, which is nice. You're not getting the draw off of the targeting right away, though, is the only problem with that one. But it is whenever it deals. Well, haste is overrated because he has haste already. So that doesn't really help me in this. But it's more of the draw part of that. Okay, so we're down to 17 there. All right, let's get back to the main idea cuts here. Telling a turn target creature gains trample. Yeah, that's the one up there. Target creature gains trample. Draw a card. Patra. This is our storm stuff. Now this 2. So we tap 2, target it. Tap another one, so we're at 3. Bring it back to the hand. 2 again, target it. Is that worth it? 5. It could be. It could be a good pop in and out. It's not as good as Crown of Flames or the green one, wherever that is down there. But it could be worth it. Fights a creature. We liked that. We liked this for free or for 3 life. That's nice to have. It's for free as well. Prey upon, fights another creature you don't control. Oh, Primal Amulet. Instant and sorcery spells cost 1 less. We are playing that. And then you're copying. Put a charge counter on it. If there are 4 or more charge counters on it, you may remove the counters. You should storm theme with this deck. Yep, there is a storm theme, but it's as many storms as I could really find. There isn't that many green and red storm stuff. So there's a total of 3 or 4. So we got Grape Shot, Ground Rift. Where's my other ones? Scatter Shot. There's a green one, though. Where's the green one? Wasn't there a green one? Maybe not. I thought I had a green one. Maybe not. No. Okay. All right. So we got Whip Silk, which is going to be the sorcery speed. I know. I don't love it, but it is only 2, and it is not fighting. It's dealing damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. So the nice thing is it's not dealing the damage back to Blanka. Yeah, Gruul Storm. Yeah, there isn't. So I have 3 total Storm stuff. Okay, so we just got to kind of keep going through these. I dig that for the extra mana. Multicolor, we already dealt with that. Primal Amulet feels, but 49 cards. I have to cut things. Prey upon. Fight target creature you don't control. This is a good way to remove a lot of stuff. Second attack. Gain life. I like this one for. Did I not have that in protection? Oh, not protection. Oh yeah, protection. That should be a protection card too. Don't know why I didn't have that in there. I'm going to get rid of Shiny. And I'm going to get rid of the other guys, Vows. Because I already have enough of the other things. Instant speed. Whenever this creature deals damage to a player, draw a card. So for 1 drop, drawing a card at instant speed, you could have 2 of your creatures getting through. Draw 2 cards off it. Draw 2 cards, do 2 damage, get 2+2. Sure. This seems like it could be good. I wish it was for as many, but that's okay. So we just got rid of the red version of this one. Becomes green and draw a card, didn't we? Pretty sure I did. Yeah. Because that's down here on the sideboard. I'm going to get rid of that guy. This one becomes red and gains haste until end of turn. The drawing card is nice, but I'm going to throw that green one down with that other one. If I decide I want to pop those in later, what do we got for sideboards? 13. So I want to kind of stay by that 15 mark. Protection. I'm just trying to decide if I want to get rid of that or not. Okay, let's get back to our big honking main idea. 15 to 25 and we're at 45. It's because these hit a lot of the other things, so it's a little tougher to get rid of. Whenever this creature dies, draw a card. It has menace, so it has to be blocked by 2 or more creatures. It deals combat damage to a player, get a treasure token for 1. There's a lot going on there. I mean, that's like a spell, giving it menace, or we're getting mono rocks and then potential draw off of it. By Ground Rift. The storm copies won't trigger Blanka any more times. Doesn't the storm, whenever you play this spell, copy it for each spell played before it this turn? You may choose new targets for the copy. So doesn't the copies count as spells as well because you're copying the spell? Or was this the thing that we were talking about, number 2, with Lowry? Whenever Blanka becomes a target of a spell. So you were saying Ground Rift, though, is where you were at, right? Without flying, can't block this turn. So with the storm stuff, they aren't spells. Play this spell, copy it for each spell played before it. They're only copies? I thought that the storm stuff worked with this. So you can tell I play a lot of storm stuff. Yeah, I was thinking that it would trigger. Because I think that they're each becoming a copy and each copy is targeting. So I think storm does work, whereas the other stuff didn't. I think I got rid of those. But the mode ones, I do have one mode, don't I? Here. So this is different because it's not saying it's a copy of the spell. It's one spell. Choose one. If this spell is kicked, chooses any number. So it's still one spell, the card itself, but I think copies count as spells targeting Blanka. I think. I'm not positive, not 100%, but that's what I was thinking. And I think there might be storm builds for Blanka out there. I'm not positive on that either, but I think that they would trigger. I'll have to look that one up too. If I can't target, if each of the copies don't trigger, then they'll just come out. But I was pretty sure I was under the assumption that the storm stuff would. When you play this spell, copy it. For each spell played before it this turn, you may choose new targets for the copies. Yeah. So because these are making copies of the spell. Yeah, you're not casting those copies, but it's like if I cast 5 spells and I did Ground Rift, now it goes Ground Rift and 6 copies of it. Each one's targeting. It's not saying whenever Blanka becomes a target of a cast spell, it's saying a spell. So each one of those is a spell. And I believe you can counter any one of those copies. So they are spells. That's why some spells say counter, because I don't know this part because I don't play Modern and all that stuff, but there are spells that like counter target spell and all the copies before it, because then what it's trying to do is get rid of storm in general. I think I'm just kind of working this out in my head with all this. So the copies are still spells. They're just not cast. And you can see with Blanka how it says becomes a target of a spell. It doesn't say a cast spell. It just says a spell. So each one of those, but modes, that makes more sense to me because the whole card, let's get down to our mode again. There's our mode stuff. Where do you go? This guy. So mode is the whole card. You're not making a copy. It's not saying if it's kicked, choose any number, make a copy of them and choose any number. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not making a copy of each one of these. It's the whole card of how it works. So you're choosing each mode as you go down. So I get that part. But the storm stuff is actually spells stacked up on top of each other. And you can counter that. You can counter this one. You can counter the second one. You can counter the third one. You can counter whatever. You can still counter those copies. And then they're all still targeting Blanka. So that's why Storm is kind of crazy in this, because it could just go freaking bananas if you've cast a whole bunch of spells before it. And then you throw out this guy or Grape Shot or Ground Rift. You just go tap 1. And now I make a copy of this 7 times and activate Blanka 7 times off of it. So Doji 20, if I cast Chaos Warp, it gets countered. I cast a spell to copies Chaos Warp. Original is still copied. Copy goes through. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong about that, I will make a note later, but I'm pretty sure that's how the Storm stuff works. As you can tell, I don't play a lot of Storm. I just know general idea of how Storm works. So there isn't any. I mean, that seems Storm is more of a 60 card format thing. You don't see it a lot in Commander. I mean, you do, but you don't see it a ton in Commander. I haven't seen a Storm deck in our play group of doing all this. I haven't seen anybody play Storm. I've seen people play 1,000 Year Storm, but I haven't seen anybody have a Storm specific deck. So, all right, back to cutting. What are we at? We're at 20. Hey, guy. Whoa. We almost cut I think we cut another 15 cards in a half an hour. I do that again and we're done. Or not again, but 2 times. Where was I? So I was kind of going through all these. I don't know if Primal Amulet, I think that's where I was getting hung up on. Does this feel good enough? I mean, we do the flip side of it. The flip is good. Any color, and then when you cast them to cast an instant or sorcery, you're doing it twice. I like that better than spending 2 mana, and then when your next spell is cast, it's double. For me, those spells feel like a waste because I'd rather have a spell in that place that is just targeting and not having to worry about me having another card in my hand. Yeah, Storm is an is it thing. It's whenever you copy a spell, which doesn't happen. Gutter snipe. Where are you? Let's get you. Gutter. He's down in here. But see, cast it specifically is saying whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell. So the word cast is in it. So it's meaning it wants you to be paying, you're casting it. Casting it can be countered still. So this would still trigger because you cast it. The storm is not casting, it's making copies of the spell. So if you get what I'm saying, let's see if any of these others do. So this is a cast trigger as well. Cast. Whenever you cast or copy. So this is getting specific. So Storm Kiln is saying cast or all the copies are also triggering. Cast. So see how these are all saying whenever you cast. Blanka is not saying cast. It's saying whenever Blanka becomes a target of a spell. So it's gotten rid of cast altogether. It's saying you have all these spells, these copies that are spells. They're not. That is not saying it has to be cast. Like if Blanka was affected by it, if Blanka wanted it to be like a prowess effect, it would say whenever Blanka becomes the target of a cast spell, I guess is how it would be worded. It'd be really weird. How would you word that to make that work? Whenever you... But see, that's where it's different is Blanka's being targeted. These are all just saying cast in general. Blanka has to be the target. It doesn't care about if it was cast or not. If it's a target of a spell. And so that is a spell on the stack. It's not talking about abilities. It's just talking about cast. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I'm just saying cast a lot, but it's yeah, no, it's fine. I know it's a little, it makes sense. I get what you're saying because these are all of these secondary things. Yeah, everything I have in this similar Blanka effect is all cast triggers. So Storm won't affect these. Those will not be affected, but Blanka will be affected. So those will be, so I guess these three will only, they're specifically for Blanka. So basically when I cast these, I want to have a protection spell in hand because somebody better kill Blanka or everybody's going to be dead. So you're going to want to have something else up to counteract your game-winning thing in this. So, okay, let's get back on track. Hey, it was a good question. The thing is I'd rather we get it right here and figure this all out than me completely doing it wrong and build this deck and then later on figure out, oh, actually this doesn't work. And that happens all the time in Magic where I've built so many decks where I go to play it and then my thought of how it worked was not right. And so I just have to make an adjustment and take that card out or take the multiple cards out. Okay. So do we think flip card image? It's a 4-drop Primal Amulet. I mean, that's not that much. You put a charge counter on it, and then you flip it if there are 4 or more. And then your spells are doubled. Nah, I shouldn't say doubled. It's only doubled when this card is doing it. Add 1 mana. When that mana is spent to cast an instant or sorcery, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Ooh. I'm going to do sideboard on that one for right now. I want all these. What I should have done with all this stuff was more of the spells that are targeted. Okay, Titan Strength. It is a 1-drop 3, scry 1. Let's move to sideboard on that one. We're getting a little heavy on our sideboard stuff. Double target, or power of target creature until end of turn. I like that that's an instant. What I will probably end up doing a lot of times with this, I'm going to just check something with that when I just put the sideboard stuff. And that's an instant too. What I may do with a lot of this, and this is probably the play style of how because it's a mix of these kind of cards, is I'll get my auras on Blanka. So I'll do my damage or whatever, but I think I will go into the attack. If I can't kill a player beforehand, I'll go into the attack to see how they respond. And so I think I may play a lot more of the, not as many sorcerers. How many sorcerers we have sitting here? 18. So I might have to go thinner on my sorceries. So this I might actually get rid of because it is a sorcery. Like somebody was mentioning before. This just might not have as much upswing on that. So then I can respond and decide, okay, I may still be able to kill everybody by casting spells, but I know at least I'm in the attack. I know where their blocks are, how many things I need to get through. And then even at that point, I can decide if I really want to kill somebody at that, with that attack. Maybe I get them down to a reachable number so that if somebody goes, I kill Blanka on their turn, then I go, well, I tap this, cast this, in response, do this, kill you, kill this player, and all that. So maybe what I need to do as the aggressive part is go towards the instant stuff. So let's look at some of these. We got our auras we want to keep in there. That's instant. That's instant. Let's try to find our sorceries and decide if that's storm, aura, instant, sorcery. Draw that many cards. This one we like. That one's a big that's a fight with a mode. We like that. Oh, I didn't even catch this. Yeah, I like this one a lot. So now we have 2 cards that do this. So we have this and this guy that's going to give my hexproof and then gain life. So we have 2 cards. I like to have options. I like to have life gain. Not a lot in decks unless they're themed that way. But I like to have life gain in decks so that I know at least if I get down to, like, let's say I'm down to like killing distance of 5 or 10 life. If I know I don't have any life gain in the deck, then it just feels like, well, I'm basically a sitting duck. But if I know I have options of things that are going to gain me life, this could get me a lot of life. This could get me a lot of life. X is the greatest power among creatures you control. So they both could do a lot of getting me back up there really quick. For example, we talked about on the cast, I was down to 1 life in our last game, in real life game last week. And in 1 turn from using Mirage Mirror, which maybe I should think about putting in here. Mirage Mirror copied Aether Flux Reservoir and this started casting. I went back up to 35 life. Just having that option of gaining life is always a good thing. It's always good to have Mirage Mirror. I play that. It's not in here yet, but it might make it back in here. There's a lot of cards that I sometimes add after I'm done and then play it through and, like I said, plug them back in later. Okay. We're at 42 cards. We're at 25 more cuts. Instant speed. Where's our sorceries? Let's find more sorceries. Instant. Sorcery good enough to be. This one we might get rid of. How many? Where's our fighting? So we're at 9. Removal 5 to 15. What do we have on sideboard? Do we have any? Instant fighting. No. Okay, we're getting a little thin on our removal, so I don't know if I want to get rid of Prey Upon. I think I might want to keep that. And this one is giving it the X+X, so that can be really brutal. But it isn't instant. Rancor. Rancor might have to hit the sideboard, because it will only pop it 2+0 and trample. That's good. And then if it dies, it goes back to my hand. But I think I got enough draw stuff, right? We got 16 draw. Yeah, we got a lot of draw. So there's our other storm. This is getting another attack. Gain life. Is this good enough to keep in there? It is a 1-drop, which is nice. It's a 5-drop. We want to keep our lower casting stuff because we want to try to hit as much surround damage as possible. Now, the other thing that I could do with this as well would be a little different than how number 2's deck is a lot of spell slinging and stuff, is I could play the long run and defensive wise, like you'd be on the defense with everything. So I could hold up a lot of protection stuff in my hand and not be not as aggressive. But in response to somebody killing Blanka, I could go, well, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, and do the damage that way. I feel like that's probably how I might do it, and maybe not go set. Remember I was saying attacking with Blanka, seeing how the player responds, decide at that point how I want to do it. Number 2's, when Blanka went off, it got the game over with really quick, which was really nice. It just killed everybody. It was game over. Maybe this Blanka deck will be more of playing the defensive role and feeling out how everybody's blocking or doing their thing and protecting it. So I might keep the protection at this higher level to, in response, save Blanka and cast these other spells to kill players and all that. So, okay. Let's get back on track. 24 cuts. We have a lot of the main idea. That'll keep the hexproof there. This, that. I dig the 1-drops, the 2-drops, the 3-drops. Draw that many cards. It's really good. This almost... I like the freebies too. But is this good enough to stay in? Round 2, untap target creature after the main phase. After this main phase, there is an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase. So you're casting this before you go into the attack. It's over. You know what, though? I will drop that down 2 because this is a very low curve. So I will be a 36 land deck, I think, in this. 36 is the number I like to play a lot, and then I'll throw in... So we have 36 plus a potential 37 here. Target creature you control fights another target creature. One thing I am realizing also at this point is, you know, I have 0 to 5 recursion. I have 1? Or did I cut that already? I may only have 1 recursion thing. What was the recursion? It was a mode. But I might have gotten rid of the mode. Yeah, I think I did. So, yeah. Oh, that's what I'm bad at, is adding in recursion, because I never it's always like a last thing. I'm like, that's why our list has a 0 to 5, because Lowry plays a lot more recursion where I don't play as much recursion. So that was our 0 to 5 range. So I might need to look into that too. I should keep a note to myself. Recursion and artifact and enchantment removal need to be added in. Okay, let's get back to... I don't think the 1 mana is going to matter much, so we're going to move that guy to sideboard as well. Where was my other freebie? The other freebie was good. It's the 4+4. Where are you? It is here. Freebie. Pay this spell. You may have... Oh, an opponent gained 3 life. I even said I lost 3 life. Target creature gets 4+4. That's a bigger jump than the other one. Control force rather than pay his cost. But yeah. And it's an instant spell. I like it. Seize the day. After this main phase, there is an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase. I like it because you can... The flashback stuff with that. So sticky fingers. Am I losing sticky fingers? Is it going to be something I got to get rid of? But it's a 1-drop. Menace. Dies, draws a card. Fuck. Fighting. 4+4 for 2. Yeah, doubling the power at instant speed, instant speed. All right, let's get back to our sorceries. We have 17 sorceries. Was it on protection? It shouldn't be. None of these should be sorceries. Okay. Oh, because we're going to get the cultivates. Harrow's good to keep in there. 2 basic lands. Okay, so it's at instant speed. What'd I say for ramp? We're at the high end of this. So let's see. 2 basic land, put it into play tapped. Forest card, put it into the battlefield. Yep, we like those. Secure a Tribe Elder. I do like that. Maybe we'll get rid of... Oh, I'm not going to do it. Say we're going to get rid of Oracle of Moldiah. Damn it. Do I? Put on the battlefield. Yes, I like putting it on the battlefield, not in the hand. Put on the battlefield. Yes. One on the battlefield, tap the other in hand. Yes, yes, yes. Farseek. Search for plains, island, swamp, or mountain. So we're going to go search for that mountain. Put on battlefield. Yes. Battlefield. Yes. Okay. Oracle. Just for this. I apologize, Oracle. But you're going. 2 basic lands. I wish those were instant speed. Birds. This would be the first time I play birds in a long time. It's not a 3 color. It is a 1-drop. 1-drop birds. Late game, this one sucks and doesn't help anything else. So we're down to 15. Okay. Now we're in that range. 13 to 17. I think we're good because I think we have enough. Our curve is very low. Very low. 1.77. Okay. We're good. Good, great, grand, wonderful. I'm going to run out of water here soon. All right. We are down to the last 19 cuts. 19 cuts. Dockside's good in there. Protection 15. We are staying higher on the protection stuff. So I keep getting back to the main idea and draw stuff here. Problem is if you have too many of these cards, Rishkar's expertise. So we have 1. Deals combat damage to a player, draw the main cards. So it has to deal the damage. Save water, drink beer. If I run out of this, it's going to go to beer. Tomorrow's Malort, Mr. Doji 21. These are just straight up draw. Like, this is just good if I'm casting it and drawing 5. But it's going to be 7, I believe, because it will be targeting. So he gets the bonus first. Becomes the target of spell 2+2. So you target him and then you draw cards. You go to the power. So you're going to draw 7 off of a 5. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then these are just adding the similar things. Okay, so let's get back to this. I think this is too much mana. Sorcerer deals damage to a permanent or player. It deals double that damage, though. I think it's too much. Yes, we have multiple things, but I think it's too much for that. We like those 3. Insult to injury. Sorcerer deals damage to turn. It deals double that damage. So yeah, if we're able to cast that for 3 and then cast a bunch of other spells. The problem with the other one is it's 8, 7, and then trying to cast spells. Like, that's like a setup turn. You play that and then you're like, cast 1 spell. You do 4 damage, which is nice. If you have a 1-drop for doing damage. Okay. Let me go through my protection again. Can't be black with creatures, so we have evasion. Those are good. Evasion built in on it. Like it. So yeah. Our auras are good. And where was the other aura that went crazy? Wasn't it an aura? That every time I deal combat or damage, I draw. I know we have Snake Umbra. What am I missing here? It isn't that. Did I get rid of it? No. Where did it go? It would be in draw. Oh, that's probably why, because it'd be in draw, not protection. So it'd be up here. So we had, oh, Keen Sense. That's right. Because the other one, Snake Umbra adds the protection. That's right, that's right, that's right. And then we're targeting Sylvan Library. I mean, it feels like it's an auto. These two just feel auto include. Like I feel like I just have to have those in. +1, scry 1. This is good to have in there. Okay, let's get to our... I think Young Pyromancer is going to go to sideboard. I don't think it deals with enough. This gets 1+0, and then the Treasures is nice for my ramp a little bit. These can be brutal as you add them in. So I think everything else... Surveil gets top card of your library and put that card in your graveyard. For a 1-drop, yep. Yep, for 2. We're just continuing to be consistent with this. So that's why we need this package to kind of say a little higher. So our side theme is... It's almost like the side theme, I guess, in this. Is there anything that stands out here that wouldn't... These are obviously better. This one, non-creature spells. That one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6 that are like just better. I'd prefer that these said non-creature, but they'd be sick if you did that. So these are all just as good, but I guess I could see... that's 2 damage, Gutter Snipe. So that's enough damage. Okay. I think we can move away from these for a little bit here. Removal we were good with. Ramp we were good with. Protection we were good with. Right. I know, Renshai, you like Veil of Summer, but I keep going back to it. I'm like, it replaces itself. It's 1 drop, but there's no targeting with it. Protection from blue and all that fun stuff. That's hard for me because it's not, it's a good card, but it's not targeting. I wish it said target permanents. You and target permanents you control gain hexproof from blue and black until end of turn. Make me target my own stuff. That would suck for Shroud. All right. Fists of Flame, draw a card. It's a 2-drop. We're gonna move that one to sideboard. I feel like that's a little too much work there. Ooh, we dropped our draw down to 15. Oh, now we're in the range. 7 to 15. I don't want to lose any more draws, so we're going to be careful with that. This one might be... I like the fact of being able to continuously do that. Seems decent. I like these. I almost don't want to touch those at all. Sticky Fingers. We get a draw off a kill. Double there. Sticky, we might move you. God, Sticky, you didn't make it again? Protection, we're at 15. What did I say for 15? 5 to 9. I could see this one. Wait, indestructible. We had 1, 2, 3, 3 indestructible things. I don't know if I want to touch these. Veil. What are we going to do? Veil. I'm sorry. Renshai, I have to put it down for now. Just put it down there for now. It might come back again. I'm going to get my sideboard under control here. We're going to get rid of this one. I know that's not one I want to deal with. I don't think, I know that one's not going to stay there because we went lower on our auras now. We're at 15 or 14. So we're dropping down. I think I said I wanted to have 10 total with auras. And so we're getting close to that. That's enchantments too. I guess I might be around 10 with auras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nine. So we're at our aura where I kind of was thinking my range would be. I thought about 10. So we're at 9. Okay. Soul's Fire at instant speed. That's really good. Wait. Power to any target. Yeah, that can be. You don't even have to attack and you kill somebody. Yeah. There's quite a few of these. There isn't a lot that I want to get rid of in this. Where are we at? Oh, we just passed the 2-hour mark. Balls, it's 11 o'clock. Okay. We need to get 14 cuts. Protection, ramp. Ramp is fine. Removal's fine. Similar effects. We have enough instants and sorceries, right? Yeah, for sure. We're at way over. Was there any that stood out here? This is what is the toughest part of all this. Permanent opponent control. Permanent and opponent controls it deals. Wait. To an opponent or a permanent. Yeah, so it's doing 4 damage. Torbrand's good in this. Insult to injury will be good in this. 7 and 7. I mean, my curve is so low. I should, right? All right. There isn't anything that's standing out to me. My main idea is a little up there, 15 to 25. There's such low casting cost stuff, and I want to keep drawing. And maybe that's why I'm on the attack with stuff, whether this is going to work. Indestructible, I lose that. I like the spells. The Indestructible is going to help with board wipes, is my biggest thing there. And board wipes happen a lot. I don't want to go heavy on it because most of the time it's going to be spot removal. So hexproof type of things are very helpful. So indestructible, I'd have 3 different things that have indestructible. While hexproof, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 hexproof like things. So maybe I need to go a little lower on the hexproof stuff. Apatra's Mark just does the -1/-1. That's not going to happen much. It is only a 1-drop. I like this much better. That's the gaining life. So we have Apatra's will move to the sideboard. Maybe 1 more protection. 2+2. I like that better than the Hapatra's one because you're not going to have -1/-1 counters very often. This gets a 1/1 counter in the hexproof for a 1-drop. What do we have for a 2? I like the gaining life. I would pay the extra 1 to gain the life. So maybe Snakeskin Veil will pop down to sideboard. Okay, so we're at 12 for protection. We're still over our protection limit. Fire Emancipation or Furnace of Wrath. I do have Fiery here. Problem with Furnace of Wrath that it also affects you. So I don't typically play with Furnace of Wrath. Because here, I'll show you Furnace. Wrath. It's going to pop down here at the bottom. The source would deal damage to a creature or player. It deals double that damage to a creature or player instead. So their creatures would also deal damage. If you're attacking with Blanka, it deals double that. I understand Blanka would deal double damage as well. But I don't typically. I feel like Furnace backfires. It's been a long time since I played Furnace, but when I played it back in the day before Commander, I felt like it backfired a lot. I loved red even when I was young. I played a lot of red cards. You can tell. But green's still my favorite color. It's just I play red a lot, I guess. All right, 12 cuts, gang. 12 freaking cuts. Can't see anything off. Yeah, Furnace as a game ender. I think that's what I'll keep my Fiery as my game ender because it's triple. But yeah, I get what you're saying. If a source would deal damage, permanent player deals triple. I think these three are added in there. Actually, this should be a game winner as well. Because if anybody lets that sit out, they're dead. You know, like triple. Yeah, it should be killed immediately. Okay. 6 mounts. We're getting there. Oh, balls. Okay. What are my draw spells again? They're big guys. We got 1 big guy, 2 big guys, 3 big guys for drawing. My only issue with this one is I have enough protection, so I can kind of see keeping this here, but I'll say is it has to deal combat damage. So when I attack through and they go removal spell, I just spent 5 for kind of nothing. I mean, I'll still have done the 2 damage to everybody and getting 5+5. I guess that is kind of worth it. Now I'm moving over to, and you wonder why we have to kill the Smith Ordinance. I don't like the kill the Smith Ordinance. It's not very nice. As long as their farm worker gets 2+2 is fine. Attacks each combat if able. As long as they're... So, do we think the Surveil is good enough? I mean, it'd be the same as the Scry here. Surveil, I'm throwing in the graveyard. You may put it in your graveyard. I mean, we're having similar things here. Is it good enough? It's helping me go through stuff. It's helping me set things, which is nice. Similar effects. Dragon Rage Channeler. I guess what I could add in this spot is the this. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature control, draw a card. So that hits 2 of the tags. Similar Blanka effect. Oh, balls. Part of me feels like I cut Sylvan. Ooh, doesn't that seem weird if I say cut Sylvan Library? Draw. That doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. Dragon Rage Channel lets you dig and shuffle and stuff you need. Yeah, I know. I know. This seems really good. This is really good. This is really good. That's really good. That's really good. 1 damage. Is that enough? Instant or sorcery. Nice thing about Gutter Snipe is it's 2. 2? Is 1 damage enough? We're at 18 creatures. See, the difference, why I'm saying it here and not here, is this is non-creature spells. So this is just instants and sorceries. But it's nice to have multiple effects of stuff going on here. 14. This is almost our side theme. I almost think I got to put this one sideboard. I think I have to pick the best ones. I got to pick basically the top 10 best ones out of these. That are getting... I wouldn't consider Arcane Bombardment in this, but I want things with casting and getting triggers. So we got 1. This can make it so they can't block if I cast enough spells. And it's goading, which is doing 2 different things at once. So I really like that. 1. Scrying is going to help 2. That's really good. 3, 4, 5. Gutter Snipe is doing 2 damage. 6. Getting treasures. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Non-creature 1. Non-creature 1. Naheb. He's great, but if you're going off, he is that. Yeah. Naheb, I like him in this just because just casting one spell, you get in your next main phase 3 red mana for each, or sorry, 6 red mana, you know, depending on the damage that Blanka does. You know, you could have even more, and then you're just like, all right, now I cast this spell, this spell, this spell. I mean, our red to green ratio is a little higher on the green side. Yeah, 57%. But having that colorless sitting there, or not colors, but red, you know, using for green spells could be really good, right? I think so. And you don't even have to necessarily attack with Blanka. You could just do your cast 2 spells that target Blanka, do 4, 8, 12, and set your turn up for something else big that you're going to cast in your next. Maybe I'm thinking too much with how, like, I'll have too much red and it'll go to waste, but part of me is feeling like I get rid of these 2 because they're only doing 1 damage. It's doing more of what Blanka's doing. But is it better to get rid of Gutter Snipe? Because I'm doing a lot of non-creature. So if we do if I do non-creature, you're adding in 14. You're doing all these for these 2. And Gutter Snipe is doing 2 damage to each opponent for each instant or sorcery. That's hard. It's hard to figure out what to do with this. Part of me is feeling like I get rid of those 2 because then I'm focused more on the Voltron stuff. Like I said before, if he gets killed, it would be nice to have another way to. Let's move these for now. Fuck. They might come back in. I gotta play this deck out. Gotta get it down to 100. So now we're under 10. Under 10 to go. We got 9 left. Instant sorceries. So we're looking at 30, 41. That's enough for Gutter Snipe to do a lot. Dragon Rage. Yeah, that'll help. Okay. 9 cards, 9 cards, 9 cards, 9 cards. Did I get rid of Sylvan Library? No, I didn't. I made a bigger deal if I did, right? No, it's right there. Okay. I should be drawing a lot. So I don't know if I don't want to cut Sylvan, but I want to cut it. I want to get these cards. I need a lot of targeting here. 36 though. I have a lot of targeting here. Additional combat phase, so being able to flash back. There's something that you could use with extra mana from red. Untap target creature after this main phase. There's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. Okay, so you've already attacked. You normally do seize the day after your first attack. Boom, you untap it after this main phase. There's an additional combat followed by additional main, and then if you can flashback it again, you can do it 3 times. So now you've target it, and get all the spells off of that. Okay. Yeah, that's almost like a game winner there. Kill one player, move on to the next player, kill the next player. I'd say that's a Day of Dragons ability. I don't think I want to touch my protection and my draw because that's going to be very important. So I need to get rid of 9 cards within this. And if I got rid of 9 cards, that gets me to the main idea of 15 to 25. I like that's instant. Boop, 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 boop. I will say Primal Might, the thing I don't like about it, I like that it's fighting, but here's what I don't like about it is, well, it can be just a 1-drop, so it'd be like Prey Upon. It's a better Prey Upon. And where was my removal? If I get rid of more removal, then I can't really get rid of these. For a 3, but that is an instant. These are sorceries. And we're talking about the instant stuff. The fact that this is an instant helps this out quite a bit. I think I get rid of Prey Upon. Oh, I shouldn't have got... Let me put that in sideboard, because I still might... If If I don't feel like I have enough removal, I'll pop that back in. Let's put that in the sideboard for now. So that's a 3 for an instant. This one's our source. That's our game winner, so that's fine. Instant. Big guy, instant. Okay, so we have instant removal on creatures. And the thing is I'm hoping that I guess I can be lighter on the removal of creatures because I'm hoping that I get through and killing the player. Like whoever's the most threatening with the creatures, then I'm trying to kill them with all the spells. That's kind of the nice thing is you could technically you don't really have to attack with Blanka, but why not? Because you can kill a player with just getting through with Blanka. Because it adds the trample and all that stuff. So, or what are we at? 108. 4 lands, 4 forests and 4 mountains. Get down to 28 land. These two will help with that. That'll help with that. That'll help pump. That'll get mono rocks. Let's help draw. It just seems really silly to cast stuff there. This is the part that I have the most trouble with and can take me, or used to, I guess, take me days. But now I just make cuts and move on. Insult to injury. Let's double that damage for 3. It's not bad. Yeah, we got to keep that insult to injury there. Instant speed there. Until draw cards equal to power target. Until end of turn target. Greatest power. Then you play something for free. Draw cards. So you're going to target. You're going to do 2 until under target. Okay, we're going to move Rishkar's expertise. Only reason is it's not fitting in the theme of targeting. So we aren't getting the main idea of targeting where the draw guys are targeting. It's just, it's a good draw card, especially in a deck like this, but it isn't specifically targeting. So we'll get rid of that guy. Farseek. Trying to decide if I want to get rid of one of these other guys. Is there any that I like? Harlbean that I can search your library for 2 basic lands, put them to play tap. I like that it's an instant. Non-creature spell. Let's see if we can get rid of one of our Sakura Tribe Elder. I think you're gonna go 14 ramp. Okay, I don't want to take any more away. Why was I shouldn't even gone for him. I don't want to take any more of that away. This is probably a good package there. Because I'm getting on the low end of what I'd like to be. But if I feel like it's too low, I'll start grabbing stuff. But again, we're very, very low on the curve. We're 1.7 with everything. Everything's right in here. And here. Very little stuff up here. Okay, so we are down to 6 cards. 6 cards to go. And I think at instant speed, let's see if we hit any of these sorceries up. We got rid of one of those already. These could be sick later. Instant speed again. I keep going back to them. Like, what? Oh yeah, instant speed. Deals combat damage to a player. Add that much mana until end of turn. So it's our same thing. We're doing similar things. Green is going to be more helpful in this. Being able to cast everything. This could be just really crazy. Both of those, Neheb and that getting through. Double creature's power. Okay, that's an instant. That's removal. Protection. Instant. copy it for each spell played before this turn. You may choose to. Nice thing about that one, Scattershot, is being able to, if you want to do this on somebody else's turn, you could definitely do that as well for spells that they cast. Where was that one returning? That was 2. Did I pop that one out? I might have, huh? It was red, wasn't it? Oh, no, it's this one. Ugh. 6 freaking cards. This might be one of them. Hey, what's up, Carlos? I think we're going to get rid of that guy. That's not doing a lot. I'll go to sideboard for now. I know I said it was low on the draw stuff. I don't want to get... Oh, no, I'm right in the range, but... all these others are doing bigger things when they... Like, this is actually... If Blanka doesn't get killed, it keeps drawing cards. This is going to continuously draw cards every time I cast a spell that targets him. This instant speed. Okay, we can keep that there. So we're down to 5 cards left. Grape shot, yes. Target creature without flying can't block this turn. So this could be used 2 ways. Like the gain life aspect of that. Freebie. Hexproof. Protection. What do we want? 5 to 9. And we're at 12. I keep going back to this guy. It just... The indestructible. We got 2 other... Indestructible. Indestructible. We got 2 indestructibles. So I think we're good there. Now it's just more of getting the last 4. Is that one going to be worth it? It's damage to that player. Be nice if it was not combat damage, just regular damage. Be pretty fucking sick. It's more fighting, and it's possible land. Hexproof and gaining life. This hits up your equipment auras. My auras are going to gain hexproof. Five cards left. Insult to injury. I keep going back to the channeler. This gal. Because it's thrown in my graveyard. Or gutter snipe. Doing multiple effects is going to help a lot. Stormkiln is interesting in this because this is going to sound like, I don't know if I should do this or not, but Stormkiln in this, he gets 1+0 for each artifact you control. Look at the artifacts I have. 3, right? You're getting it off of the treasures you make, how he gets bigger. I don't think that's worth it in this because I don't need the mana as much. If I'm casting 4, I don't think I need as much mana. I like Stormkiln a lot, but I'm looking at trying to deal a lot of damage, and I have my curve is very, very low, so I should be able to get everything out. So Stormkiln might not help me in that situation. Okay, so we're down to the last 3 cuts. We want removal to stay there because we're kind of lacking on that field. Ramp we can't touch anymore. Protection we don't want to mess with anymore. 11 protection spells is very good. I probably want more, to be honest with you, but we'll see what else we can get rid of here. So 3 cards. This guy makes me a little bit uncomfortable because it's 3 to do its stuff, but I do like the flickering stuff, like being able to bring it back to my hand for 1. So in the worst case scenario, let's say I'm late game and this is the only card out or even in my hand, I can at least go, well, I have nothing to do. I'll just pop this back to my hand, tap 2, put it on Blanka, pop it back to my hand, waste it that way. So I like that I have a few of those in here, and I don't know if I want to get rid of those. This could add in for really crazy amount of damage because it deals damage to a player. If you're hitting with Blanka, you might be just winning at that point. So does this really matter? But it's the same thing as Neheb. But this is the losing life. So you get a bonus from doing the damage of Blanka, doing the surround damage. So I'm going to move this one to sideboard as well. And then we got 2 cuts left. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it. And then I got a drawing to do for Stump the Smith Savant tomorrow. 2 cards. Sylvan Library is good. I like these effects in there. Burden probably gives 1 time whenever you cast a non-creature. So this one gets bigger. 2 cuts. 2 cuts. We're down to 32 of the main idea. We're supposed to be 25-ish. Let's ramp. We're at 13. So we're at the low end. We don't want to go anymore. Removal. 5 to 15. We're in the middle low end of that, so we don't want to do any more of that. All these guys just seem pretty. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, yeah, that can be really brutal with. So why don't we? I think Storm having the 3 in here is going to be nice. Okay, just hear me out. I think I'm going to do Sylvan Library at this point. If I don't feel like I have enough draw, I will bring Sylvan back into this. I know it's a fantastic card, but I have a lot of like draw things here. Because I am on the low end of draw. Oh, no, I'm still on the high end of draw. I have a lot of things that I can draw off of, so I think I will do that. And then my last card to cut, I don't want to get rid of another draw. It's in this group here. We'll do this guy because we do have other ones that do that. There. Boom. 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 We're done. We're done. Cut 63 cards in one night. That is quite the feat. In 2.5 hours, not bad. All right, thank you guys all for joining me. Hang on, I thought I dropped one of the names. Okay, so I'm gonna mix this up, mix it up good, shake it. This is for Stump the Smith Savant. There are 2 cards on the line, and then actually, if Lowry doesn't get stumped this week, we add a 3rd card. So, okay, I'm digging down to the bottom. Let's see what we got here. Ah! Jacuzzi! Jake! Good luck, buddy. Good luck stumping Mr. Lowry. Thanks for entering. You guys, if you want to enter for Stump the Smith Savant, just email us at commandersmith@gmail.com, or you can direct message me if you're a part of the Discord. Thank you guys all for joining tonight. Thanks for helping with the cuts. Thanks for not helping with some of the cuts because you're a bunch of jackasses. Just kidding. Love you guys. Remember, subscribe, like the channel. That's the way we get bigger. We're close to 1,000 at this point. That is our big goal, and we'll have big prizes once we get to that point. Thanks again for joining. Remember, tomorrow night, live, 9 o'clock is the podcast. We are going over our top 10 Commander cards. This is a joint list of Lowry and I putting this together. We do this every time. And then we have a new segment that's going to be popping up. Not segment, a new, segment that we'll be doing once a year with rotating cards because we're going to evaluate how we did. That'll be the next week. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys later. We'll see you. Bye. Say up.